Welcome to Yoga Flow. So today's class, we're going to get into the shoulders a little bit. We're going to do some movement. We'll do a version of Dancing Warrior series. We'll also get into the hips. So I would make sure that you have a strap. We're going to do upper body and lower body with the strap. And you might need blocks for support for different things that we're going to do. So, and I've got my strap right in front of me, so it's ready to go when we get there. So finding a comfortable seat. Whenever you're ready, maybe moving flesh out of the way of the sits bones. I like to sit up on a folded blanket. And so if your hips are kind of tight, you'll know that because your knees want to kind of lift up a little bit. You can lift yourself up a little bit, sitting on a pillow or a different prop. Good. And once you kind of settle in, think about finding a little bit of length, maybe ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. You want to grow taller, but you don't want to be really rigid here. So you want to be able to still relax through the face, the shoulders, and the hips. My chin is a little bit more parallel to the floor. And we'll breathe here. So noticing your breath. Noticing your body. Is there anywhere you could soften just a little bit more? Breathe and expand that rib cage on your inhales. And slowly exhale. You can let these exhales out through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels natural and good to you in this moment. Good. Now, this next time, we're going to inhale and expand. As you exhale, could you think about sinking a little bit deeper, a little bit more grounding with each increment of that exhale? Good. We'll take the fingers to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands into the heart space, creating an intention for your practice. What would you like to give or receive? So mine this week has been infinite, unlimited possibilities and opportunities. You're welcome to use that one or create your own. It can be serious. It can be lighthearted. Everyone's different. And once you have that set, we'll inhale, take the palms all the way up, turning palms away, and grow taller as those arms come down. Good. Taking those arms up about shoulder height here. Let's just find some rotation. Good. I'm still trying to sit taller. Good. Palms up towards the ceiling, taking hands to the shoulders, moving shoulders forward and back, trying to keep the rib cage in. So if you can, as you take your elbows together, think about separating shoulder blades. As you take them back behind you, think about closing them together. And you're free to stay with this movement if this is best for you. If you want to take this into a different movement, just go into some circles here. Good. And then maybe reverse direction of those circles. And then you can stay with circles or taking elbows out to the side, just lower and lift. And the chicken wings approach here. And then when you're ready, good. We're just going to take our hands in front of us. We're going to clasp the hands, press away, maybe see curving around, get a nice stretchy there. Good, and come up. So I'm going to use my strap here on this next one, but I'm going to show you different options for different things. So different people have different range of motion. So some of you taking your hands here might be all you can do today. You might take them here. You might take them here. You might roll it back and lift. Now, if you lift, ideally, you want to have the meaty part of the hands touching together. As you can see, I cannot do that today. But I'm going to kind of take that discomfort out of my shoulders and my wrist by taking my strap. I'm going to take my hands together on the strap. Good, I'll press down. Now I can roll back and get a better lift. So always options, and we always want to do what's best for us. Good. So finding your stretch. And then when you're ready, Good. If you used your strap for that last one, just take it back forward. We're all going to take the strap now. So we'll thread this between the pointer and the thumb. Good. We want this to be nice and tight here. So we're going to take it up. Big inhale, exhale. We're going to side bend. I'm going to go to my left. And I'm keeping sits bones grounded. And I'm just letting the gravity on this side do the work for this top arm and shoulder here. Breathe and expand. Good. Coming back up, reach, reach, reach. Take that right into the other side. So notice differences between one side or the other. Good. And we'll come back up. Good. We're going to take that a little bit deeper now. So I'm going to reach. Good. Coming back over to the left. So if you've got kind of metal on your strap or belt today, be mindful when we move that you don't hit that in your face. Good. I'm just going to let this bottom hand come down here. Good. I'm going to anchor. And then you can stay here if this is enough for you, or you can open up, looking behind you, feeling that nice stretch in the top of the chest, the armpit, maybe the bicep. And then from here, we're just going to really move belly button in, forehead in the direction of the knee. Really reach forward from shoulder to fingertip here. Your strap will not be taut. And then we'll take that back and open, and we'll come back to center. Good. So readjust your grip. When we're ready, taking it back up, taking it to the other side now. So just kind of letting that right hand come down to the floor. Good. You can stay here and open. This is still a deeper stretch. Or you can open behind you. Gaze is going to go behind you. Noticing differences between one side and the other. Good. And when you're ready, mindfully move through center, belly button in. Good. Finding the C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Really reach from shoulder to fingertip. And then when you're ready, good. We'll find that opening and come back. Good. So from here, I'm going to show you this one from the side view today. We're going to move forward and back here, working on range of motion. You want to keep your arms long. So if you can't come back here without bending your elbows, take a wider grip. And my blanket is no longer comfortable, so I'm just going to take that out. Good. So it will look like this. And you want to keep your rib cage in. So I'm at a wider grip. I'm going to take it up. And I'm going to take it back. Good. And then take it forward. And then maybe we come back. Maybe we pause where we went. Maybe we come back a little bit more. And then taking it forward. And we'll take it back again. Good. So here's my sweet spot. And move forward. From here, if you can touch the top of the hips, you can. You can also stop at your sweet spot here. So find where your stretch is the most beneficial for you. So I went sideways because I don't want you to really pop your chest open, but I don't want you to kind of round here to make these things work. Good. When you're ready, we'll take that back up and we'll take that back down. We'll place this to the side. We'll come back to this more towards the end of class. Get any little movement here that your body's asking you to do. So that might be a wrist roll, a little neck stretch, neck roll, a spinal roll, shoulder rolls. Maybe you want to do a few little hinges here. If you're doing that, don't forget to switch out your legs so you're even on both sides. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to tabletop position. So if you need knee cushion, bring that in here. Same thing for your wrist. If you are, the hyperextension is no good for you. Remember, you can always bring in a folded blanket or fold your mat. That's going to lift your wrist up a little higher, a little bit more comfortable for people where hyperextension is not a good idea. You can also do this set on your forearms as well, on or off blocks. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Knees are about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider if you've got some back issues today. Belly button in. Big inhale, shine that heart forward, tip that pelvis back, nice cow pose. Exhale and we'll round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round. Good. Now, you can stay with this, especially if you're newer or you need something gentle. Option 2, semicircle. Inhale in the cow. Exhale as you round. You'll sink down on one side, moving through center, rolling up onto the other side, and then maybe rounding and going in that opposite direction. So that's option 2. Option 3 is a little bit more upper body intensive, dynamic cat-cow flow. We inhale on the cow. Exhale as you round, going back into a child's pose. Inhale, forearms drop, shifting forward, baby push-up, right into that cow pose. So take a few rounds here. It can be any one of those. You can alternate between 2 of them, all 3 of them. At the end of the day, you want to move with nice fluidity, and you want to move to the rhythm of your body and your breath. So basically, if it's feeling good for you and you've got good breath going, then you're doing it right. And don't worry about the rest. Your pain is an indication that we're not doing it right. So if we've got that, we want to make a change. Good. From here, as you finish up your last round, find a nice child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. You can make your big toes touch or not. You can take your arms long in front of you, or if your shoulders aren't ready yet, take the hands back by the ankles, letting shoulders relax. Forehead will come to a block or to the floor. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Keep expansion in that rib cage. If your arms are long in front of you, could you walk those fingertips forward just a little bit more? Good. And then when we're ready, inhale, look forward, come back to tabletop. Good. This can also be done, what we're getting ready to do here, on forearms as well. So we're going to kind of warm up the core just a little bit here and get a little stretch. So I'm going to root through knuckles and my pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm going to take my right foot back, grounding through big toe and pinky toe mounts. I'm going to kind of press back through that heel, micro bend in the elbows, shoulders in their pocket. Let that right hip drop slightly so the pelvis is even. Breathe and expand. And then from here, I'm going to shift forward slightly. Toe can be in a small hover or a hip height lift, toes, knees, and hips. Face the ground. Maybe opposite arm is going to come forward here. Think about head and neck being an extension of the spine. So your gaze is going to be at your mat. It's not going to be up here at the ceiling. There's nothing on your chest that the chin needs to touch. Reach and lengthen. Get out of that supporting shoulder. You can stay here or you can flow with me. We're going to tap. So I'm going to tap toes and feet to the ground and lift and tap and lift and tap and lift and tap and lift with a smile. One more, tap and lift. Stay here, take a break, or take that out to the diagonal. It's harder if you're lifted. It's easier if the toe is grounded. Core is working either way. When I say core, I'm thinking about both the front and back side of the body. It's often used interchangeably with abs, but your core is more than just your abs. And we'll take that back forward, and we'll take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. If you need to come back for a moment and decompress, do so. And when you're ready, we're going to take that right into the other side. So moving forward. This time, left foot's going to come back. Ground through big toe and pinky toe mound. Good. I'm going to press back through that heel, micro bend in the elbows, shoulders in their pockets. I'm going to let left hip drop slightly. Belly button is in. And breathe and expand. And then when you're ready, we'll come forward. Good. Small hover, hip height lift. Hip, knee, and toe are going to face the floor. Right arm's going to come forward. Get out of your supporting shoulder. So lift, lift, lift. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. Stay here or tap with me. And we'll tap once and lift. And tap and lift. Your breath is your own here. Tap, lift, tap, lift. One more. Tap, lift, lift, lift. Stay here or find your diagonal. Toe can be down or lifted. Find what you need, and it might be different on this side than the other side. Breathe. And when you're ready, we'll take that back to center. We'll take that down. We'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. One more time. Find a little child's pose here. Decompress. And when you're ready, we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So I'm going to come forward. I'm going to take my hands all the way down. I don't want a down dog on my fingertips. Good. If you're taller, so maybe 5 foot and higher, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. Everyone else is fine. Tucking the toes. We're going to lift and shift. Pressing in and forward into the mat. Rooting still through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Head and neck are free. Maybe elbows turn in slightly. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking in that direction. Knees are a little bit bent. Press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Belly button is in. Good. From here, you can choose to stay right here. Keep bent, a little bit of a bend in the knee. If you're tight in the hamstrings or have some back issues, you can lengthen and bend. You can walk your dog doing one knee and then the other. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. Find what works best for your body in this moment. And then when we're ready, finding stillness if you took some movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands. Come to blocks if you cannot touch the floor. Remember, your blocks are in 3 heights. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Blocks, floor, shins or thighs, lengthening that spine. Exhale and we'll bow. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. We're going to rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention, soft knees, soft tailbone, soft heart. Continuing to warm up. Inhale and we lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. Good. So going in through a modified sun salute A here. I'm just going to kind of move these a little bit out of my way. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. From the bow, plant the hands, step back into your plank pose. Now hold your plank pose here. Knees can be lifted or grounded. Be where you can be stable in the upper body. And we'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stronger, more experienced yogis. Shift forward slightly without collapsing through the shoulders, lower down to the belly. Others are going to follow me. Knees down. Same thing though. Try not to collapse the upper body. Elbows are in as you lower all the way down. Untucking the toes. Good. We'll go into a Cobra progression here. I'm going to take my hands forward and to the side. Elbows are relaxed down. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body, belly button and pubic bone into the mat. Maybe we lift into a baby cobra here. If this feels okay, make your back muscles work. Could you lift the hands? We'll lower the hands. We'll lower down. Be mindful here as we continue to progress. No crunching through the low spine. No collapsing through the shoulders. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Find your baby cobra. Maybe you come up a little bit higher. So remember, this is collapsing. We want to be down here. This is collapsing. We want to be supported in that spine. And we'll lower. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Pubic bone into the mat. Keep it low. Take it medium. Take it high. Again, no hanging in the low back like this. Be supported. If the full upward facing dog is in your practice, lower down just a little bit. Tucking your toes, finding your upward facing dog. So in a full up dog, you've got either toes or the tops of the feet on the floor and your hands. Legs and torso are not touching here. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully lower back down. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands under shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else follow me through a tabletop, moving back, tucking toes, lifting knees, finding your downward facing dog. Good. So as we begin to prepare for a little bit faster sun salutation A's, be mindful that flowing is going to be optional. And if you don't want to flow, down dog or child's pose during that part is acceptable and okay, as well as just working on a plank. From here, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bending the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. We'll inhale, lift, and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Here we go. We'll try to do 3. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. You can follow me through a modified one. I'm taking my knees down. Good. Find your path to your downward facing dog, however you need to get there. From down dog, inhale, look forward, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. We'll inhale, lift, and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, and we lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift, and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Finding your downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Last one. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank pose. Take or skip your flow. Nice supporting in the shoulders. Finding your downward facing dog. Nice big breath here. Big inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Notice how you feel. Hopefully a little bit warmer. I'm actually starting to get super warm. I had my heater on before we got started here and starting to think that might not have been the best idea. Good. So from here, when you're ready, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. On this bow, different people are going to do different things. If you cannot touch the floor, then come to your blocks here at any height. If you don't want to grip your feet or anything like that, just keep your fingertips onto the floor. You're going to get nice traction here. Those of you that can touch your toes, take your peace fingers, wrap around those big toes. Good. Now get into the balls of the feet, get into the heels, a little bit of a bend in the knee here. And I'm just going to kind of sink in for a moment. Big inhale to prepare. Exhale, press into the feet and the big toe mounds. I'm going to lengthen my torso here as I bend my elbows. Now I'm going to fold in a little bit with that long spine. Keep a little bend in the knees. So another way to think about this one is when we do the seated forward fold, when the legs are out forward. This is exactly the same thing, just a different way to get there. Good. Inhale. Exhale, release the big toes. Coming up. Good. Find a little bit of length. And from here, we'll find that fold. Good. So you can do exactly what you did before. Again, if you can't touch your feet, come to blocks. That's where you're just going to be. You'll work on lengthening. You can come back to peace fingers around the toes, or you can come with me into gorilla. Watch your rings if you're wearing those, or if you've got really long nails. We're going to take the hands underneath the feet. Maybe you want to massage the meaty part of the hand and the wrist with the toes. Sometimes that feels good. Good. I'm just going to let my elbows come to the side for a moment. I'm going to shake my head, yes. Shake my head, yet no. Got a little bit of a bend in those knees. And then from here, I'm going to press into those feet. I'm going to lengthen that spine. Feeling a little bit of a different stretch. But be mindful anytime we're doing these forward folds. The number one yoga injury is the hamstring ripping at the attachment from the hip joint, or the bone rather. So be kind to your hamstrings, don't overdo it. Stretching a spine, feeling like something's gonna rip is not normal, so we wanna back off. And then from here, we'll lower. Carefully take your hands out from under there. Good, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Mountain, intention. All right, so I'm going to bring in my blocks here just in case I need them for stability. We're going to go into a little bit of a balance challenge here before we step back and do another flow. So, and we're just going to do this on each side real quick. So if you need to hold on to something sturdy, you're welcome to do that too. We're going to start. Our left leg is going to be our supporting leg. So that hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. I'm going to zip up through that front body. Your arms, hands can be anywhere that's appropriate for you. I'm going to take mine over the overhead. You might do better if your hands are at the waist, so be mindful of that. I'm going to put my weight into my left side. I'm soft in that left knee. I'm going to pick up my right foot. So it doesn't have to be high to find a balance. The higher you take it, the harder it is, the more core you have to engage, and you want to be stable. So if you're kind of wobbly here, taking your leg up higher is not a good idea. Okay, so be where you're stable. Good. Press into that left heel and ball of the foot. Try to get out of hanging in that left hip joint. And we'll take that down. Good. Shake out that supporting leg. I'm going to take that to the other side, and then we're going to take that into some movement. So hip, knee, and toe on the right side is going to come forward, zipping up. Good. Find the height of your left foot. Remember, it doesn't have to be high. You're just going where you're stable. Good. I'm not real stable up there today. I'm going to come down here. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel, relaxing the shoulders. Pressing into that right heel, coming out of the hip joint if you're hanging out in there. And then when we're ready, we'll take that down. Good. Shaking out that supporting leg. Now we're going to take this into a little bit of movement. So we're not coming into the full warrior three. We're just moving. And then you can use blocks or take your hands to the floor to step back into the lunge for warrior one. So be mindful of your needs. Bring those in a little bit closer. Good. So coming back to left side, big inhale. I'm going to take my arms up. I'm going to find my lift in my right side. Good. And I'm just going to take that forward a little bit. And I'm going to come all the way back up. And I'm going to take it a little bit. And coming all the way back up. Careful not to move too fast. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to take my hands to the blocks or to the floor. Lengthen that right foot back. Good. Watch your front knee over behind the ankle. I'm going to warrior prep that right foot, heel to arch, taking that leg out a little bit wider if you need to. Get into the front heel, get into the back edge of the back foot, rise, warrior one. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Relaxing through the shoulders. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of a flow here too. If this is where you need to stay with no flow, stay here. The longer you're here, you get out of your head and into the pose, you'll learn many, many things. Otherwise, from here, zip up through the front body. I'm going to take this forward, taking arms back, long spine, getting into that front heel and the back edge of the back foot. I'm going to come up and I'm going to open. And then I'm going to reach and I'm going to lengthen. Watch that front knee coming up, coming open. One more time, taking it forward. Coming up. We're going to open, pause at the open. Feel those shoulders opening up a little bit here. And when you're ready, we're going to reach, lengthen, take your path back to the mat. Hands on blocks or to the floor. Swivel up, back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip your flow. Good. So you're seeing me use my blocks right now. This is a great way to take more weight into the back body and out of the front body, especially if you're a little bit wristy or shoulder-y. Nice little tool. From the downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Mountain, intention. All right, we're going to do that balance challenge, coming back into that flow on the other side now. So this time, your right leg is going to be your supporting leg. Hip, knee, and toe are going to come forward. Good. When you're ready, when you're stable, you can lift that left leg a little bit here. Take your hands and your arms where they need to be for you. And we'll just take it back a little bit. And we'll come back up. Good. Taking it back a little bit. And coming back up. Whew. It's okay if you need that little toe check there. And then from here, we'll take it back. Good. This is my weaker side. Hands to blocks or to the floor. Reach that left leg back. Finding that right up runner. Watch your knee over behind the ankle. Warrior prep. And when you're ready, rise. Warrior one. Good. Front hip will come back. Back hip will come forward. So remember your options. You can hang out right here, or you can flow with me, zipping up from the front body. And when you're ready, good. Pressing through the back leg, getting into that front heel, coming back. I'm trying not to move that front knee, coming all the way up. And we'll open. And we'll reach. And we'll hinge. Long spine. This is not exactly a forward fold here. It's an extension. And we'll come up and come into another extension. And reach. And take it back. And we'll come up. And we'll open. Find that opening. Find your breath. Good. Taking it back up. Inhale. Exhale. Reach and hinge. Taking your path back to the mat. Swiveling that back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Finding that nice downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. All right. I'm going to put my earpiece back in since it decided to fall out. We're going to go back into another little flow here. We're going to open up the hips a little bit. So you will probably need blocks, most of you, for this one. We're going to do some dynamic movement here as well. And then from here, when you're ready, take a big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale on a bow. On this bow, we're going to step the right foot back. So now you're back in that left up runner. Good. And I'm just going to let that right knee come down to the floor. Good. You can always put a cushion under there. You want the knee to be behind the hip. So if you're not able to tuck that toe, lift the knee and take it back there. Take your front foot a little bit more forward, and that should help you here. Your blocks are kind of your balance. And so then from here, I'm just going to kind of rock back and come back forward. Notice how my knee doesn't go beyond the ankle here. We're coming back and coming forward. Good. Coming back and forward. We're going to pause right here. Good. Different people are going to do different things. Some of you are going to take a hand onto the floor to a block, opening to the left. Some of you are going to hinge forward a little bit, taking a prayer twist to the left. So find what works best for your body. Good. Inhale. Exhale. We'll take that down. Good. Using blocks if you need to. We're going to come out of there for a moment. We're not going to be here too long. If it does feel good to keep your hip over your knee, you can. I'm just going to take mine probably a little bit further back as I rock back on this heel. You can also slide this heel more forward. Keep this knee soft. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm going to lengthen my torso and spine here. Your hamstring in the front is going to let you know if it's safer for you to fold in deeper or if you need to be up here. So take the lead of the hamstring. Good. And you may not need blocks. I just like mine since I'm recovering. If you can reach the floor comfortably, then you're fine there as well. Good. From here, we're going to come back up, coming back in. We're going to come into lizard or gecko pose. So again, different things for different people. You can take your blocks on the inside of that foot or to the ground. I'm just going to move these out of the way here to get set up. Good. You can take your leg out a little bit wider to the side. So this case, it's going to go out a little bit more to the left, hip, knee, and toe face forward. You can take that hip out into an external rotation. So hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out more to the left. You can come down forearms on the floor or onto blocks. I'm going to be on blocks today. Good. Belly button is in because this is not yin class. Another option, you can tuck that back toe, lift that back knee, press back through that ankle. Belly button is in wherever you're going here, shoulders in their pockets. Breathe. Good. From here, if you took the back knee lift, we'll lower that back knee down and untuck the toe. I went onto my forearms. I'm going to come back onto my hands, on or off the blocks. Good. I took my leg out wider. I'm going to bring it back in line with my hip. Now I'm going to use my blocks. We're going to counter this just for a moment, sliding back again into that half Hanuman. And when you're ready, good. We'll come forward, take blocks, hands forward, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot comes back. You choose, take or skip that flow. I'm going to skip this one on the flow and hang out in down dog. Always do what's best for your body. Good. From the downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Mountain, intention. We're going to do that again to the other side now. So I'm just going to have my blocks handy. All right. So now we're going to shift, and we're going to do that with the balance challenge. So we're going to shift the weight into the right. Good. Picking up the left. Here we go. Big inhale. Exhale, taking it back. Coming up. Taking it back. Coming up. Taking it back. Taking the hands back. Lengthen. I actually just remembered we did not do that with this flow. I apologize about that. Good. From here, once you come back and you're in your right up runner, let that knee settle down here. Good. Making sure that knee is behind the hip. If you need to take the front hip forward, that's fine. And when you're ready, finding length in the torso, we're just going to rock back and forth here. We'll pick up that extra balance challenge in our next little challenge here, just so that we're nice and even. Good. And then from here, good. I'm just going to come back forward a little bit. I need a little bit of an adjustment. Good. And then we're just going to come back here into that half Hanuman. So you can keep the hip over the knee. You can take it back a little bit here. Use blocks to put on the brakes if you need that. Softness in that right knee. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Your hamstring will let you know if it's okay to fold deeper or if you need to be more upright. Breathe. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we're going to come back forward. Good. Knee stops over behind the ankle, going into the lizard or the gecko pose here. So blocks or hands can come onto the inside of that foot. You might stay there. You might take this right leg out a little bit wider, staying in parallel, straight forward, or maybe you're going into external, hip, knee, and toe, turn out away from the body. Good. You might come onto forearms on the blocks or onto the floor. You might choose to tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, press back through that heel. Find yours. Belly button in, shoulders in their pockets. wherever you're choosing. Breathe, come back to your intention. Unlimited possibilities and opportunities. Every day is a new day to start over. We don't have to wait for a new year. And then from here, when you're ready, if you lifted that back knee, we'll lower that back down. I'm going to come off my forearms, coming back onto my hands. I'm going to bring my leg back in line with the hip. Good. And then we'll come back and we'll counter. Another little half Hanuman here. Good. From here, we're going to come forward. We're going to pick up the twist that I also forgot about here. So from here, left hand's going to come to a block or to the floor. You'll twist to the right, or with your length, you can take the prayer twist. Find what works best for you on this side in this moment. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, we'll take that back down. Good. Now, I am going to take my hands to the ground, tuck the back toe, lift that back knee, front foot comes back. You choose, take or skip that flow. Good. Always remember to come back into good form. So head and neck are free, little micro bend in the knees if you need that. Elbows are soft. We're pressing them forward into the mat with the hands. And then from your down dog, inhale, look forward, bending the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. All right. So from here, we will get that balance challenge on the other side here. And we're going to go into a little bit of a dancing warrior flow, not as intense as we sometimes do it, but just a nice, gentle little flow here. So coming into the left side, let's pick up that right knee. Good. And we'll come back a little bit. And we'll come up. And we'll come back a little bit. And we'll come up. Good. Come all the way up here. We're going to step the right leg back, and we're going to find warrior two. So as you step it back, think about a heel to heel, a heel to arch, or take this leg out wider. Arms are going to stretch out. Front hip's going to come back. Back hip's going to come forward slightly to help that front knee track better towards pinky toe. Hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. Find big toe and pinky toe mounds and heels into both feet. Zip up through the front body or belly button into the spine. Good. Here we go. You are free to keep that front knee bent during this series for more challenge, or you can lengthen it as we move. Inhale, exhale, coming back exalted. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted. Inhale, move through warrior two, forearm to the thigh. And move through warrior two, coming back exalted. And we'll take that again. And moving back through one more time. Moving with your breath. We're going to come back as you move through warrior two. Lengthen that front leg. Take it into exalted. If you like to arm wrap or bind here, find something like that that works for you, or you can just be. You're rooting in your feet. Inhale, exhale, find warrior two. Let it be your best one. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel that down, plant the hands, swivel up back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Downward facing dog or child's pose is also a good option. From your downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and intention. Good. So I am going to come to the other side of my mat. So I am not facing you from the back. You're fine where you are. We're going to take that all to the other side. This time we're going to step the left foot back, finding your warrior two. Good. Heel to arch. You're a little bit wider with that leg. Reach those arms long. Good. Hip, knee, and toe, track forward. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Good. Find big toe and pinky toe mounds and heels into both of the feet. Breathe and expand. Good. Now, same as before, you can keep this knee bent the whole time, or you can lengthen it as you go back if you need that. Big inhale. Exhale, take it back, exalted. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted. Move through warrior two. Find that extended side angle. And moving through warrior two, taking it back into exalted. And move through warrior two, extended side angle. Move through warrior two, finding exalted. Your breath is your own today. Move through last time. And we'll lengthen that front leg, finding your exalted. If you did an arm wrap or a bind at this point on the other side, find that here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale, exhale, find warrior two. Make it your best one on this side. Inhale, exhale. We'll cartwheel that down. Planting the hands, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip your flow. Good. So from here, I'm just going to turn back around here. Good. From downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and intention. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to come into a toe balance. We'll do a couple of these. We'll do a basic, and then we'll add on with the second one. So I highly recommend blocks here. If you don't have two blocks, have a block in front of you so you have that support. If you've got two, have them to the side at their highest setting for support. So a word of caution for those of you with knee issues. If you know, for example, we're not going to come into it this way. This is just an example. So we'll be down here. If this is too deep in the knee for you today, what I would like for you to do is not go that deep. Just take your feet a little bit wider apart. Find your little squat. You don't have to do a deep squat. And then maybe find a tiptoe balance here. Okay. So that'll make it a little bit less intense on the knees. But for those of us that are going to attempt the full here, feet hip width apart of the toe balance is going to be easier. If you zip your feet and your legs together for tiptoe balance, that's going to be harder. So be mindful of that too. So from here, I'm going to inhale, exhale, and I'm just going to bend the knees as I come down to my blocks. Good. From here, my knees are already a little bit bent, and I'm just going to take my blocks a little bit forward so I have some room to shift forward as I come onto my tippy toes here, or the balls of the feet rather. And then I'm just going to settle in. And as I feel okay, I'm going to take my blocks to the side. For some of us, we will never take our hands off the blocks. This is where you're going to be. Others, maybe you choose to come here. Hands actually can be anywhere that you want them to be. They do not have to be in prayer. Try to press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Find your breath. It is intense. And then from here, when you're ready, hands to the blocks. I'm going to take my blocks back forward. I'm going to hinge forward here. Good. So I'm putting more weight into the blocks as I lift. As I'm comfortable, my heels are going to come down. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of a fold. And maybe just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle those toes. All right. Second time through, we'll add a single arm lift and a side bend to it. So from here, good. Find the position that you need. So my blocks are forward. Good. I'm going to just take a little bit of a bend here just to begin. I'm going to shift forward, lifting my heels. I'm going to come into my tiptoe balance. I'm going to bring my blocks beside me. Good. I'm going to find some length. Good. I'm going to keep my right hand on my block. I'm going to release the left. I'm going to take it up, maybe a little side bend towards the right. Coming back up. Taking that hand down. Again, press evenly in big toe, pinky toe mound. Left hand on block, right hand's going to come up, and a little side bend over here. And we'll take that back up. Good. Coming out of here, I'm going to take my blocks forward. I'm just going to shift forward. I'm going to take my knees down. So if you were doing the standing squat, carefully find yourself to a seat. That's where we're going here. Notice how you feel. Maybe feet feel really good getting out of there. It's a nice balance and a nice way to get into that fascia sometimes that likes to tighten up. All right, I'm going to bring my block in here, or not my block, but my blanket in here. I'm going to take my legs long in front. So we're going to go to that seated forward fold again. So you can bring a strap in here if you know you can't reach from this angle. You can bring a block in here if you want something extra. Otherwise, legs can be together a little bit wider apart. Find what's appropriate for you. Find the anterior tilt of the pelvis. Tailbone goes behind, hip bones come forward. Find a little bit of length. Inhale, exhale, hinge, find a long spine, and then take that fold. So again, if you're able to grab the feet, kind of be where we are. So here's the toes. Good. Here's your gorilla. So same thing, just different ways. Standing versus seated. It's kind of amazing, even though it's the same thing, how they feel different, even though they're doing a lot of the same work. Breathe and expand. And then from here, we're going to carefully come up. Good. So we're going to do a seated version of figure 4, and we'll work our way up to cradle for some of us. Some of you are going to stay in seated figure 4. So I will show this to you from 2 different ways. Everybody's going to take your hands behind. Good. I'm going to pick up my right ankle, put it on top of my left knee. This might be where some of you stay. Some of you are going to drag that left heel in, and this might be where you stay here. Okay. Others are going to release from the back, cradle that shin, knee, and foot, and maybe rock, rock, rock side to side. So a side view of that would look like this. Coming back, picking it up here, and then coming in for the cradle. Good. Good. I like to rock, but you don't have to. Good. So from here, we're going to carefully come out of here. So depending on where you went, I'm going to take my ankle back right above that left knee. I'm going to take one hand at a time behind me. I'm just going to let that carefully slide out of there. As I come back up with my torso, I'm now going to lift that knee. That foot's going to be on the floor. I'm going to find some length. My hip bones are both grounded. And then I'm going to find my twist, rolling that back shoulder back, looking behind me, breathing and expanding. Inhale, exhale, coming back to center. We'll undo and we'll shake, shake, shake. So we will do that from the other side. Good. I'll come back this way so I can see you better. Good. So from here, now we are going to take our hands behind. Good. We're going to pick up the left ankle. We're going to put it right above that right knee. Just let that knee open. This might be where some of you need to stay. Others are going to drag that right heel in. This might be where some of you need to stay at various points. Others are going to release. Maybe you come into that cradle and maybe you rock, rock, rock. Good. So it always amazes me. I can bring in this cradle rock, I can bring my shin all the way into my chest. If I'm on my back, I cannot, even though it's the exact same hip rotation type thing. Again, it's one of those things, you're doing the same thing just in different ways, but they all feel different. So from here, I'm going to release. I'm going to take that ankle back right above that knee, one hand at a time behind for safety. Release that down. That foot's going to come up and over. Good. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to find my length. Inhale, exhale, take your twist. Back shoulder comes back. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, we'll come back forward and we'll undo. Shake, shake, shake. We're going to come onto our backs. Good. So as we come onto our backs, we're going to do a freestyle bridge. So if you know that you would like a supported bridge, have your block handy so that you can do that. I'm going to demo a basic, but remember there's all different kinds and you've got a strap today to help you. You can do the ankle bind. You can clasp the hands underneath. You can do that full back bend. Find what's appropriate for you wherever you're working today. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track in that alignment. I'm going to roll my shoulders under just a little bit here. Big inhale, exhale, pressing evenly into both feet. Find your chosen bridge. Good. So hips, knees, and toes stay tracking. I don't take my feet out wider. I'm not letting knees fall in or fall out. And when you're ready, if you've got a block underneath there, carefully remove it. We're going to roll that down. Good. And I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. I am going to take my strap. I'm going to take that strap around the center part of the right foot. We're going to use this for half happy baby or adult and go into a hip opener from there. So your left leg can be bent or long. I'm going to turn toes, knees, and hips of that right foot out to the side. I'm going to bend that knee towards the floor. So here's your half happy baby. If this isn't for you, just let that come to half happy adult. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to take that leg back up, bring that leg back in. Good. Inhale, nice and tight. Take that leg out to the right. Both hips, both shoulders stay grounded. You can relax into there, or you can tug in towards the shoulder and notice if it's a little bit less intense than it might normally be because we did that half happy baby first. And then when you're ready, good, we'll bring that back up. We're going to switch sides. A little mid-air switcheroo. Right knee is bent or long. Both strapped into the left hand. Toes, knees, and hips are going to turn out to the left. Find your half happy baby or happy adult. And yes, if you can reach your feet and stuff, you can do this without the strap. However, sometimes while the strap can be supported, it can also add a little bit more challenge to some things. Good. We'll take that back up. We're back in parallel. Good. When you're ready, we'll take that leg out to the left. You can relax into there or tug in towards the shoulder. And we'll bring that back up. Good. Release that foot from the strap. Knees into the chest. Give yourself a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to go into Shavasana from here. So set yourself up for good relaxation. You can take everything kind of long and flop open. You can put a bend in the knees. You can put props under the thighs if you need extra support. You can bring in something for neck and head support. You can be on your side. You can be on your belly. Be where you're comfortable. And then see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I'll leave you here for a few moments. Taking in some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or gently invite movement of the fingers and the toes, maybe running thumbs along the edges of the fingertips. Choose stillness Or bringing knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifted for a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way if you used any for Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch. Point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here to pause before you come up. And when you feel safe to do so, we will carefully come back up to a seat. Maybe the same one you started with, maybe a different one. And once you find your seat, find a little bit of length one more time. Notice how you feel. Palms towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands at heart center. Reconnecting with that intention you made for yourself one final time. Possibilities and opportunities are your own. We'll take the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts. To our lips for good and kind words. And to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day and week ahead. Namaste.